It's your boy Usmaan back again. I'm absolutely fuming. Absolutely. I'm so pissed, right? Obviously, this show is about you guys coming on and having your say. It is a fan calling show. Come have your say regarding a nil-nil draw. Yes, the third nil-nil draw in a row. We have not scored in 3 games. Absolutely shambolic. You can come and discuss whatever you want regarding the manager, regarding the players, whatever you want to talk about. Come have your say. Listen, it's an open platform for you. That's what this channel is about. Usmaan Talks Tonight has been tweeted out. Go to my Twitter account and check it out. Let's get some of your comments in before we go live. RK1, Mother Lover, Ali out, hashtag Ali out. I'm with you, Super. I don't support how Donny has been treated. He joined midfield is dead. We made Crystal Palace defense look like AC Milan prime defense of Martini. Oh my God. I have backed Ali long enough. I'm done with this roller coaster. Another disappointing performance. Listen, first and foremost, right? I'm going to say it straight up. I've been saying for how long that we play shit football. And how long have I been saying it? I've been talking about how poor the football is, how clueless the manager is, by the way. Hasn't got a flipping clue what he's doing. Honestly, I'm sick and tired of him. I'm absolutely done. But like I said, this is an opportunity for you guys to come have your say. Obviously, I'll have my say when there's no guests, etc. But we have got 2 callers waiting. Just want to get a couple more comments in. The most depressing game of the season, for fuck's sake. What was that? Absolutely shocking. Team is tired and heavily reliant on Fernandez. Yep, completely correct, Junaid. Good point. No threat in midfield. Fred is poor. On passing, absolute dog shit. Usmaan F this manager. I want him gone, and the fans want him here because it's the Glazers' fault. Listen, Harris, bro, you know we're on the same wavelength, man. You know I don't rate Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer. Sean is actually ready to call in. He does not like Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer at all. But listen, drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Let's get us the first caller on. I want to get through as many callers as we possibly can. If you want to come on, vent. If you want to just come on, have a real calm chat, we can do that as well. And it's not about forcing people to have a rant. Just get stuff off your chest, basically. But anyways, without further ado, let's get the first guest on. Obi Was, Kenobi Was, Manindel.
Yes.
I'm just going to pass it to you, man. Where do you want to start?
Proper lackluster, man. I was expecting a better game, some energy. All he talked about flipping, we're going to go on the front foot, all that crap, and nothing happened. Didn't see any of it, both halves. It was just so poor all over the field. Usually we're criticizing the defense or then the attack or whatever, or the keeper and stuff like that. It was just all over the pitch. It was just so poor and boring and slow and flat. No ideas, no system, no creativity, no nothing. Nothing. I was so bored. A lot of people are probably saying this, but I'm proper bored watching that game. It didn't feel like watching My United, man.
Right. To be fair, first and foremost, regarding the boredness, it's been this way for a long time. How many podcasts have I been on and I said we don't play good football? Like no one's been listening to me apart from the people that are already Ollie out. They're the only people that listen. Apart from them, guys, people are under this impression that we play good football. When was the last? How many times have I said in a podcast? When was the last time we played good football? Okay, now you can say Southampton. Prior to that, it's probably Leeds. Like we don't play good football. We haven't in ages. You go back to the Fulham game. We won because Pogba scores a worldie on his left foot. Aston Villa, Pogba wins a penalty. West Ham, Pogba scores a worldie. Other games, Bruno scores a worldie. Rashford scores a. You get the gist. It's hardly. We don't play good football. Like look, a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter for the first time actually starting to question Ollie. People that, of course, are his supporters. Look, I obviously support Ollie, but he's not the right man. What's that? Where do you put the blame for that performance? What are your thoughts?
Well, first, I mean, the players have to take some of the blame. I wasn't too upset with the lineup. I mean, what else is gonna do, innit? I mean, there's a few injuries. The lineup was enough to beat Crystal Palace, man. They're only flipping Crystal Palace. They've got injuries as well. I'm not having that. So then it falls on the manager for not making the changes at the right times. It's not working. By halftime, I know that this is not working. Something has to change. The system has to change, or the personnel has to change. Nothing happened. It was the same. It was worse, in fact. Sorry, it was worse.
It was definitely worse, yeah.
It was worse second half, and I thought, what is it? Fatigue? Are they tired? Are they just running out of ideas? They're not gonna have a game plan. It comes down to the manager end of the day, and it's like he his lack of ideas. You can just see it. They don't have no patterns of play or anything, and they're just like not even no individual brilliance because it felt like that none of the players actually wanted the ball today. They were just like hiding, but you had all 11 players pretty much hiding. So that's what happens. That's what you get in it. So manager and the players to blame today. It was just flipping, not Manchester United like. And imagine those fans in the flipping stadium. They'll be so pissed off because that was really poor. I want my money back. Definitely.
Right. Look, there's a lot of good comments coming in. Keep your comments coming. Obviously, I'll put them on screen and try to read out as much as I possibly can. Obviously, the whole purpose of the show is to be as interactive as possible. I'm just going to quickly get some comments on. So we really miss Pogba first and foremost. Completely agree. I think that's a huge point. Ollie's out of depth from Junaid. Obviously, we'll come on to that. Where the original bottle job from Ali is also saying there's absolutely no urgency. And this excuse that this is a tired excuse, so ridiculous. Man City have won 21 games in a row playing. But you can't say Bruno Fernandes, right? I'm just gonna jog everyone's memories, right? So everyone is aware that Bruno Fernandes played against Real Sociedad when we was 4-0 up. You played him in the second leg. So if he's tired, it's on Ollie. Why didn't you rest him? Whilst we're 4-0 up against Real Sociedad, we're playing at home, and he's got Bruno Fernandes on the pitch playing 60 minutes.
He shouldn't be playing.
Why is he even traveling? Put him on the bench at most. There's no way there's no way he should be starting that game. It's Ollie's fault that he's fucking tired. You got Van der Beek in the squad. You got bloody Juan Mata, Rotoy. Flippy use one of the other players, man. Like, do you know what I mean? He's not used Van der Beek at all. So you can't say Bruno's tired. You flipping utilize the bench. Why did you buy Van der Beek then? What's the purpose of him? Like, it's absolute bullshit. Like, I know he's injured now, but he would not play anyways if he was fit. So I'm not hearing it. Got a comment from the homie Naran. Tonight showed you boys need Pogba. Oh, he's not my United fan. Those boys need to look at themselves and take responsibility for that showing an Arsenal fan, and it was like watching us. That's me being honest. Listen, it's probably worse than watching Arsenal at the moment. I'm not even going to knock Arsenal. At least Arsenal flipping do something. Luke Shaw, by the way, should have had 3 assists today.
Yeah, 100%.
3 assists. He put 3 on a flipping play for 3 different players, and not Dan James missed an open net header right from 5 yards. Completely bottled it. Cost Luke Shaw an assist. Luke Shaw played one to Rashford to his feet in the box.
Oh, that was.
Like, he played another one to Bruno. So 3 minutes later, he flipping miscues the ball. It's not good enough. Like, it's not good enough. At the end of the day, right, the players have to take ownership. And for me personally, you can say what you want about the manager, because it's quite evident for me he's not good enough. But the players, some of them aren't good enough as well. Like what are your thoughts on the Pogba thing, was? Because a lot of people are talking about missing pop-up. People started to finally realize what he's capable of.
I knew as soon as he got injured, I thought, because I knew, the thing is, we've got the perfect play in Van der Beek, but I knew you weren't going to play him. Still, who is he behind? Everyone in the midfield. He's probably behind Diallo now as well. It's crazy. And if you're stupid enough to think Pogba's this, that, like what he offers, what doesn't he offer, the evidence is there now. The last couple of games we have dropped off so badly. It's just crazy. And Bruno has to take it all upon himself. And to be fair to Bruno, he wasn't amazing today, or he did dictate play, but the guy was running everywhere. He looked so frustrated.
I'm not going to criticize him.
You can't. It's so unfair on him. It's so unfair.
Because Bruno is basically what Pogba was before Bruno arrived.
Yeah, 100%.
People not seeing that because they're not seeing this.
No,
Bruno is basically what Pogba was before Bruno got bought. Like, he doesn't know what to do because he's got nobody helping him. We've got someone who's put in the chat, Johnny, as well, my homie. When you play Fred McTominay, Matic alongside Bruno, you take away the attacking threat in the midfield. Absolutely. He subbed on McTominay, that's right, and said to him, join the attack. Why the hell did he do that before?
Half time.
What was the need of?
It had to be done half time.
CDMs against Crystal Palace.
Exactly. What threat have they got in
Let
midfield? Do they
McTominay
even have a
start.
midfield?
Let McTominay start and tell him to join the attack from the first minute of the game. Okay, granted, he didn't do nothing, but when he came on, he straight away got in a position that Fred will never get himself into. He should have shot, but he didn't because he's probably a bit rusty, just go on the pitch. But why is he not starting if you've got no fucking attacking midfielder? Like, you got no one else. Why are we playing two DMs against? It's not acceptable. They're playing two DMs
Yeah.
against Crystal Palace.
Matic can do that. Matic could do that job on his own, man. They didn't
Matic is
offer
an actual
nothing.
DM. Like, he's on
They didn't
jobs.
have nothing in midfield, Crystal Palace. Absolutely
Oh my
nothing.
God.
There was no threat. Apart from Eze, and he just,
Yeah,
even
no,
that.
absolutely. All right, Wes, I'm gonna let you go because obviously we've got a couple of callers waiting.
Oh,
Obviously,
no,
thank you as always for starting up the show.
no worries.
Right, okay. Listen, as always, if you want to come have your say, as you can tell, I'm not normally this vocal after a game, but listen, I'm absolutely fuming. But there's so many things wrong with this club, and people keep coming back to the fact that we're sat in second as an achievement. It don't mean shit. If you're sat in second, you're 25 points off first. It does not mean jack shit. Simple as that. You don't get a trophy. You don't get an achievements award. You don't get knighted. It don't mean nothing. We're not playing good enough. And we're lucky that Liverpool and bloody Chelsea and all these teams are being completely dog shit this season. Otherwise, we'd be joining them. Anyways, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I've just realized I haven't got a banner. We've got two callers waiting in the wings. Don't worry, I can see both Sean and Eddie. I will obviously get you both on. Don't worry, Eddie. I know you're new. Don't worry, bro. I got you. But anyways, if you are wanting to come and have you say Usmaan Talk Tonight on Twitter, I literally say I sound like a broken record because I say it after every guest. But I want to get as many of you guys on. That's the whole point of the show. Obviously, if there's no one on, I will fill the time with my own opinions because I can talk for England tonight. But anyways, let me get the homie on. I know he's going to be back tomorrow on the podcast, but you're getting a sneak peek of what he's feeling. We got the homie, Sean, a.k.a. The Yank. You love to love. Sean, bro, I can imagine you must be pissed, bro. 0-0 to Palace.
Bro, I'm actually calm, Like this team, I've been saying it for a while. And so my expectations are now on the floor with the rest of the fan base for the most part. So they've won me over to their manner of thinking that the process is on the way and all that stuff. Listen, Usmaan, I gotta be honest, bro. I feel like even talking right now, all I'm gonna be is a parrot because everything you've said, we not only have we been saying it, but I 100% agree. I don't care that we're second. I want to win things. We are no closer to winning things. We finished second on it. We're closer to ninth than second.
Absolutely.
And, bro, I'm telling you. Listen, here's what I've discovered, Usmaan. I'm saying this with it. This is all fan opinion. So ultimately, it's my opinion. It's your opinion. I'm not saying that I'm the king of football because it is what it is. But ultimately, we have a situation with a ownership and a manager who protects that ownership, whether people like it or not. Where
I'm telling you, Sean, keep talking.
No. I'm just saying we just have a situation where we have a mediocre manager who shows over and over and over again the same consistent mistakes tactically, and people that can't see it just don't know ball. And I've discovered from football Twitter and from YouTube, some folks just don't know ball. They watch
100%.
ball different than me. That's okay. Some people watch just with their heart, with their feelings. And so, Ollie's at the wheel, yay. I love Ollie too. I want the guy to win everything. I would do backflips. But I respect him as a player. He doesn't have as a manager. And the thing that kills me, bro, is this same guy got up and said a few weeks ago, listen, I'm the manager. I don't fool with the tactics. Then whoever you have doing the tactics, look, first off, that scares me. So who's doing them? Michael Carrick? He was just a player. He's coached nowhere. Bro, and if people don't know why Donnie isn't playing, I can't help you because you don't pay attention. The reason Donnie does not play is he's a system player. Even in Ajax, I don't know if you've seen this, but one of the main guys at Ajax was questioned about Donnie and why he's not playing at United and if he made a mistake. And he said very simply, the other players are not on the wavelength that Donnie is. 100%. How they're coached is not on the same wavelength. This is what he said. He said Donnie is a 1-2 making runs. That's not how they play. And for people to say Ollie has absolutely zero tactics, then you wasn't watching today because we played hoofball tactics against freaking Crystal Palace. We were trying to play long, direct. And here's the thing. We actually were trying to switch the play long and direct. It's bad, bro. It's just bad. It's boring to watch. If this was Jose, everyone would be going mad. They would be going crazy because it is what it is. So now I look at it like I know what we are. I know what our players are. I love Bruno. I do. I love Bruno. I respect everything he's done at this club, but he's a volume merchant. So the reason a lot of times he does so much better against the smaller teams than the bigger teams is because look at the amount of touches he gets against smaller teams versus bigger teams. He needs those because Bruno makes decisions sometimes that aren't clinical decisions. He'll get a pass. Instead of making a good pass, he's always trying something, which is fine. I know what he is, so he don't frustrate me. And these people blaming Martial. I hope you can see now that our average strikers touch the ball in the box of the opposition less than 2 times a game because our midfield does not create. Without Paul Pogba, you know the virus that Usmaan won out because he's some kind of virus. What you see what it's like without him there. We are absolutely a mess. And the reason I'm calm is because I understand it now. And I'm cool. At the end of the day, listen, top 4, we're the new Arsenal. Let's get our top 4 so that the Glazers can get their dividends. Ollie can smile. My man was smiling, giving Fred a thumbs up like he was coaching.
Honest to God, I was so angry. And
That's the stuff I do to my 9-year-olds. Good shot, bud. Good shot. Like, bro, I can't. So it is what it is.
Oh, God. Listen, first and foremost, I'm just going to quickly get a couple of comments out because obviously I'll address it. Ollie doesn't have a game plan, which is what some people are saying. And,
I think he does. I think sometimes, bro, I think he does have a game plan at times. The problem is he won't switch from it at all. We make 0 tactical shifts in a game. So even when we do sub, which is usually way too late, it's a like for like. And typically, it's always Mason that comes off because he's the easy sub to make. Because he's a kid still. He doesn't kick up a fuss. You can't touch Marcus. Tony, we know how he kind of, he's a moody player. So it's always Mason. Today, in fairness to Ollie, he actually he's put Scott in, like for like, Scott for Fred, typical. But he let him play forward. So at least it lets me know, hey, he tried something new. I almost fell over. For real.
Well, to be quite frank, I'm not going to give him any credit for that because I've been saying that for how long to put Scott on and let him join the attacks. I've been saying, am I the manager of Man United? No,
bro, I swear this guy watches fan channels and is like, I think this is maybe what
I said Scott should have started over Fred. I knew he was going to play Fred. Why would you play 2 DMs? Someone's putting the chat in. I'm already addressed this matter. Why are you playing 2 CDMs against Crystal Palace when you've actually got his excuse before was we haven't got a specialized CDM. You had Matic on the pitch who's a specialized CDM. You could have said, Scott, you're box to box. I want you to join the attack, 3rd man run, give us another option, give us another dimension. When he came on, he actually caused some problems. Okay, granted, we didn't elevate again massively, but at least he did something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
one thing about the midfield. This is where I want to give some of the people that I disagree with and disagree with me some credit. Where a lot of people they like to blame all the players because they don't. For some reason, some people are more loyal to their heart and their feelings for Ollie. Ollie's bigger than the club for a lot of people. He's untouchable. The same way as Bruno. They're Bruno FC, not United FC. The same thing they blame people for Pogba. That's how some people are when it comes to Bruno and Ollie. You can't criticize them or you're some fake plastic fan. But I'm going to say this. Let's be honest. Fred, bench player. Scott, barely a bench player, a tool for certain situations. So I will give people this. Our squad isn't what it needs to be. But the thing is, if we can produce a mediocre squad and get this management top 4, then that's all they care about. They have no ambition to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have no ambition to win stuff. And the truth is, all these people that run their mouth about the Buccaneers, you don't know crap. They have no ambition to win. They're crap. They've always been crap. They're not supported in their own city. This year, because it was a COVID year, it was a weird season, and Tom Brady caught fire at the last minute, and they got lucky. They'll be trash again next year once again. So I hear these people talking about, they have United just so they can support the Bucs. The Bucs are crap. They put more money into United than they do Tampa Bay. But at the end of the day, it's just, bro. This is why I cried out for Poch, because we needed a coach who has worked with crap ownership, no support, who had some kind of track record in the Prem for being semi-successful, bringing through young players, playing a right style, up-and-coming manager who's worked under crap. Because my fear is that now we'll get rid of Ollie in the summer, which I think he should get to the summer anyway. Why sack him now? And we'll bring in someone, for example, like a Nagelsmann, who I think is an up-and-coming superstar manager, but he's never dealt with crap like the Glazers in this system. So they could ruin this manager, because at the end of the day, one of the up-and-coming American managers that a lot of world teams want, his name is Jesse Marsh. He's actually the manager of Red Bull Salzburg. I hear him do a lot of interviews, and he talks about the Red Bull way, because the culture. Every Red Bull team, doesn't matter if it's New York, Leipzig, Salzburg, wherever, they've got a plan, they've got purpose, and they've got a culture. United are a business. So that's the only thing that makes me nervous about.
We ain't got shit, Sean. We ain't got shit. We ain't got no system. We ain't got no style of.
But I'm happy, bro. Hey, look, it's Vibes FC. At the end of the day, we go finish top 4. And hey, don't let it stress you out, Usmaan. Don't let it stress you out, my guy.
Listen. I've not been stressed for the last couple of games, but today I'm just
love from Yankee Town, baby.
But listen, Sean, thank you. Obviously, we'll have you on tomorrow if you're available.
Blessings.
We'll go into more detail. Obviously, I don't want to go into too much detail here regarding some of the points, and the Martial one in particular. But Sean, as always, absolute pleasure having you on, bro.
Yeah, man. Big up. Everyone like, subscribe, get involved.
Yes, man.
Get my man to 10K. Let's go.
Yes, 10K. You love to see it. Let's go, Sean. I'll catch you in a bit, bro. Anyways, when we get a second guest on, we've got a familiar face and a sound waiting. Don't worry, brother. I can see you. We're going to get our next guest on. He's been patiently waiting. We got the homie Eddie on for the first time. Sure, in the chat, bro.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Say, G-man, talk to me.
Bro, I really haven't felt this bad since Jose. I swear to you, man. I have not felt this bad since Jose. And you know what the interesting thing for me is? Like, my barometer for how I view this team isn't football Twitter, isn't the pundits, it's my parents. They've been Man U fans since like the 60s or whatnot.
Oh, wow.
And I'm watching the game. I was watching the Liverpool FA game with them, right? This was the game that people hold up as the one crown jewel of Ollie this season. And my mom was like, oh, my God, they play terrible. My pops was like, oh, my God, these people play terrible. They only wanted to watch for the goals. They didn't want to watch for the style of play, for the type of management going on the pitch. It's so apparent to everybody who's not involved in these kind of childish conversations as to what is really going on at Man United. And it's just tough to see, man, because it's like when you have Sir Alex Ferguson, that's not only a standard on the pitch, but it's a standard of how a manager conducts himself on and off. He's too much of this nice guy. People can call me nitpicky and whatnot. The guy's not a killer. I know they say babyface killer, but he does not come into these games trying to take the other team's throat out. That's just what it is. It's just weird, man. It's weird to see what United has come to because, I started late in this thing, but I started early enough to understand and establish for myself what the United standard is supposed to be. So it's just tough, man. It's tough to watch every time out. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, bro, man. The standards have dropped absolutely astronomically. In particular, you alluded to football Twitter. Like, for me personally, people's sort of perception of what Man United should be or supporting the club. Look, I'm not going to sit here and have a witch hunt over Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he's a legend in my eyes, isn't it? But at the same time,
yeah.
At the same time, it's not even about Ole. It's about the club. Like, it's the same with players. I'm not. Look, obviously, I have my favourites. I'm not going to lie. Like, Pogba is my favourite. But if Pogba wanted to leave, I'm not going to say, keep him X, Y, and Z. It's about Manchester United FC. And this is the situation that we're currently in. Is Ollie the best man for the job? That is the simple question. No sentiment involved. It's just focus on him solely. And for me personally, right, he's just not been good enough. It's in second, which is the only thing people are clinging on to. But bar that, as your parents rightly said, when was the last time we played good football? Like, I genuinely, apart from Southampton, when they had 10 men, I know we absolutely destroyed them, but we've had like one or two good games the entirety of the season. We found ourselves in second. So, like, For me personally, man, he needs to do more, man.
It's just sad, bro, because I'm looking at it. I'm like, we have a front three that I'll say, and I'll stay on the table for any team in the world would die for when you talk about just the talent. Not so much how they apply their talent. When you're talking about a Marcus Rashford, a Martial, a Greenwood alone, if you never knew what team they played for, and you just looked at their intangibles and how they play the game,
100%.
bro, that's all world. Like, you can't see another team in this league alone who can deal with that. And then you add on top of that a Bruno, a Pogba, a crazy, Bailly when he wants to fly in. You add in all these ingredients to a team who should not only be like putting goals in the back of the net, but they should play in a style that shows you just how more athletic we are than you, how much more we want it than you do. All these simple things that aren't translating on the pitch, man. It's just weird. It's weird, man.
Yeah, no, completely agree. We got Ali saying the front three is just good on paper, which is kind of what you're alluding to. On the pitch is rubbish. Look, I've said this consistently. In terms of talent, we've got a fantastic crop of players. A lot of people are saying the squad isn't good enough. Look, the squad for me needs 3 or 4 additions and a proper manager, a coach. That's what I've said consistently. On Twitter, when I tweet out, people say I'm negative. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right. So
at the end of the day, the way I see it is, right, a lot of our players are massively underachieving in terms of their individual ability or, their ceiling, so to speak. Luke Shaw, obviously, he's improved. I'm not going to.
Hey, bro, and I can't even front. When I started watching Luke Shaw, I didn't know what people saw in this boy. I had no clue what to see in the future. Now I shut my mouth and I'm just humbly accepting the fact that this boy comes out to play every day. That's honestly been one of the only people I've seen come and bring it every day.
100%. He should have 2 or 3 assists today. But the point I was going to make is he's the only exception to what I'm saying. Everybody else, Rashford's got way better levels to get to. Yes, his statistics are brilliant, but I just think he has moments in games, and I still believe that. Like, like 5-10 minute patch in a game that he's brilliant, and then after that he'll be kind of ineffective. Greenwood, young lads, he's been very ineffective of late. Cavani, we're not getting the best of him. Obviously, Martial, we all know about him. He's not been to the standard that he's upheld himself. But it's just, you mentioned Pogba there, right? And, what does it come down to for you? Because I'm a bit shocked that we're playing 2 DMs against Palace. What are your thoughts on the actual setup of the team as well?
That honestly, for me, it screams of someone who doesn't trust in his attack. Now, what it might be, and people have said it, that, it's the partnership, but I'm like, look, at the end of the day, if you haven't trained those guys to hold up on their own, then I can see why you're playing 2 DMs so we don't get crazy. But again, you're playing 2 DMs against Palace. What are you doing to prepare our team to attack Palace? Would then be my question. Like, if you have like you talked about McTominay, I don't know if people see it like I do. When he puts his foot to strike the ball, he's one of the best I've seen on the team. Like, he really can, from a whole bunch of positions on that field.
It's brilliant, yeah.
He can really hit the ball. So I'm thinking, okay, if you want, let's take Fred is just going to run around, muddy it up. Okay, keep Fred in there. Have McTominay press ahead. If he was going to go into the game with that, I'm like, okay. But when you have a Matic and you have a Fred who don't necessarily progress the play but keep us stabilized in the midfield, we don't come out with anything. It's just boring football, honestly.
Yeah, no, I hear that, man. It just don't make sense to me. At the end of the day, I always say that it's not so much about the lineup. Obviously, I do criticize the lineup, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's not about the lineup, it's about the approach and individual goals. And what you said there with McTominay, I was saying it in our match preview as well. If I see Fred playing, or if it's between Fred and McTominay, and I see Fred playing, I'm going to lose my shit, because there's no way.
You really should
be playing alongside Matic when McTominay's got a goal threat in him. And we didn't have a goal threat. He comes on the pitch. Okay, granted, his quality is not brilliant. I'm not going to say it, but he straight away got in a position that he might have scored. Should have shot for me personally. When the ball got played to him, he kind of dilly-dallied and went out for a goal kick. But at least he's in that position. that gives their defense another thing to think about. At the end of the day, they've got Kale in there, and Kayate is a CDM by nature. They got players out position. They got injuries galore. There's no excuse really for me, quite frankly. But bro, obviously, just to finish off, just to get your thoughts on obviously how we're gonna move forward. Obviously, got a huge game against Man City, man. How are you feeling for that one? I think your reaction.
Dog, hey brother, I seen that game the other day, man, and I was talking a lot of stuff to a lot of people because I'm in my head. I'm like, man, if Martial was in them spots that Jesus was in there and Sterling was in, I'm just like, how would the narrative shift? How would the narrative be? But besides that, I'm praying. I got my rosary right next to me. We gonna keep the prayer strong, G, and we just gonna see what happens. Again, it's Vibes FC. Is God bless America, and we going with it, bro. You know what it is, man.
Yeah, that's all we could do, bro. That's all we could do. Pray,
Yeah,
man.
man.
For the best, my brother. But listen, Eddie, thank you for calling in. Class call, man.
Yes,
Make sure you
sir.
call him again after
I'll
every
try
single
to,
game
man.
here,
This was
bro.
fun. This was
God
fun.
bless.
I'll try to again, man. Thank you.
100, man. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, my guy. What a legend. What an absolute legend. Make sure you show love to him. First time calling in. Class. Good to get people from different parts of the world. I'm assuming he's American. I might be wrong, but, I'm just assumption. But anyways, let's get our next call in. He's been patiently waiting. The homie's been a while. Son, Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing?
Assalamu alaikum, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, not bad. But, we can always be better. The football has somewhat of a bearing. But, as Sean said, don't let it ruin your mood and so to speak. But yeah, look, Manchester United, we're still in second, as Ollians would tell us. But what are your thoughts about that game overall?
I'll be honest. Halfway through, I updated my CV.
Why are you applying for the job?
It was just boring. Honestly, I was like, I need to stay awake, so I turned the laptop on to do my CV. It was that boring. Even my oldest Hamza, he left with 10 minutes to go. He's like, "This is just shit. I'm going to bed." It was just lackluster, wasn't it? I mean, where was the desire? Even from the off, it was just a bad day at the office. But we're having too many of them at the moment. We're just on a bad run. A few weeks ago, I tweeted out, "Are we on a bad run?" And this was 2 games after the Southampton game. And I got a bit of abuse about that, saying, no, we're not on a bad run. And I said, no, I think we are. We're churning out a few results, luckily. But in truth, like people are saying, oh, we're only a couple of players away from a title. I actually think we're about 6 players off from being in a title challenging position, to be honest. I mean, today showed the strength and depth. This isn't there. Matic, he's been decent, but I mean, it's Palace. Why are we going with 2 central defensive midfielders? I mean, Matic, he's an old man Logan. He's going to sit in front of the defence. Fred has his moments, breaks play up, but he doesn't offer much going forward. I mean, he couldn't hit a cow's backside with a banjo the way he shoots. And credit to Dan James, he looked lively when he came on. He's been quite lively recently. Why not start him against Palace? He's young. He can play 2 games in a few days. Albeit, I wouldn't say he's the best player, but And then you got a Diallo who's eager to impress. Give him a go. It's Palace, for God's sake. I
honestly don't know why he didn't roll the dice on Diallo. Look, don't get me wrong. Man. I'm not going to sit here and say I expect Diallo to come on and make a difference, but surely change something. Like, nothing is working. Like, you've got
to change it. I mean, the one thing I'd be critical of Ollie is his in-game management. That's always been, for me, one of his biggest weaknesses. He changes things far too late. Substitutions are given 10 minutes to do something. By then, it's very hard to change a game, Rashford just had a very bad day. I think he should have come off. I think
I honestly don't know how Rashford
should have kept Cavani on. Should have kept Cavani on at least when James etc. came on. We were putting a few crosses in, and it's like, well, we don't have a target man.
I think Cavani couldn't play the 90 minutes. I think that's what it was. To be fair, so I'll give Ali benefit.
No, I understand that.
Now he has,
but
so I don't think it was probably fit enough to 90.
True. I'll give him that.
Rashford was absolutely abysmal though. Like He offered
was,
absolutely nothing going forward.
I love the boy, but today was just not his day. And Bruno huffed and puffed. It just didn't come off for him. It was just very disjointed. Very. Just our passing was just shit. We just couldn't complete a straight pass. Our movement was just all over the place. I don't know. At least Ollie's not going to blame the weather like a certain Liverpool manager and say it was too foggy. But it was just bad, wasn't it, bruv?
Yeah, no. No, it was an absolute shambles. The commentator actually tried to give us that excuse, but I'm not hearing any of it. To be fair, they could have won it at the end. Dean Henderson.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, that Van Arnold, whatever his name is, nearly done us again. I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god, when he got through in there, I thought he scored. What a save by Henderson! Like, fair play to him.
Yeah.
Saved us from further embarrassment. Honestly, God,
we can take a few little positives from the game. Like Henderson will be happy with the clean sheet. I think Bay played all right. He didn't look like he was going to make a mistake the whole game. But let's be honest, Palace didn't really test us that much. Just in the same way we didn't really test them. So it was just a disappointing game the whole way around. I think before playing City, which, oh God, that's going to be a hard game, but it's a derby game.
We have to.
Yeah. But the thing is, form goes out the window on Derby Day, doesn't it? I mean, how many times did Sean go pull up the world against us?
The thing is, Guy never made a very good point. The boys will be up for the City game because they know of the stature of the game, etc. They'll be mentally, with it. But they should be like, they should be up for these kind of games. These are important as well. TSN saying, the Van Arnold was offside. I think it was, but obviously Henderson doesn't know that. That's a big save for him.
Yeah, he didn't know that. I mean, as I say,
but listen, you're obviously moving forward to the City game. What are your thoughts going into that one? How are you feeling? You're still optimistic, that we can still get something? Do you still think the top four is ours, or what are your thoughts?
I think top four still ours, more for the point that the other teams will mess up more than we will. I can't see West Ham maintaining this great run they're on. I think Spurs have got mistakes in them still, and Chelsea. They'll be the more consistent of the others, but they'll get fourth, maybe third. Right. We'll be top three comfortably, I think. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Listen, at the end of the day, we'll take it. It looks like Leicester battling it as well. But listen, so just before I let you go, obviously, in terms of today's performance, what would you say you're taking away from it most? You kind of already alluded to the positives of the clean sheet and Bailly, but is there anything else that you've probably learned or taken away from this one?
In all honesty, we take a point. In fact, no, we dropped 2 points, but we didn't lose. We're still unbeaten on the road. We go into Man City, another day, another game. I think the players will be pumped up for it. I don't think Man City will tear us apart. I think it's going to be a very tight game. It could be one of those where a moment of magic wins it on Sunday.
Well, look, hopefully that moment of magic comes from us. But son, thank you for patiently waiting. As always, thank you for calling in, brother. Inshallah, on Sunday, we're in a happier mood when we do the calling.
Inshallah. Thanks for having me on, bro. Nice to talk to you again, as always.
So enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Right, okay, I'm just going to wrap it there, obviously. I'm just going to quickly give you my thoughts. I've calmed down a lot since the start of the show, as you could probably tell by the tone of my voice. But yeah, look. Where do I start? Listen, first and foremost, if you haven't already, please do drop a like on the video. I really do appreciate it. Obviously helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Alhamdulillah, I finally got past 1K, but want to continue to grow the community and obviously do content like this, which is about you lot coming on and having your say after the game. We do it every single game. So if you haven't already, follow me on Usmaan Talks United so you don't miss a fan calling show and don't miss the opportunity to come and have your say. But anyways, let me just quickly sum this up. A lot of good points made by most of the guys. I don't want to sit and repeat what a lot of the guys have said. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. At the end of the day, 2 points drop, not acceptable. Ollie has to take accountability for the approach, the team selection. I'm not going to follow him too much because I wasn't mad about it. We did a pre-show. If you want to check that out, we were good vibes and all that good stuff. But look, I wasn't mad about the team lineup. I was mad about the approach. Fred and Matic, look, at the end of the day, one of them has to join the tag. You can't have two people sitting back and, you know, basically being CDMs. It's just embarrassing, isn't it, really? Like, it's not acceptable against a team of Crystal Palace's caliber. Look, at the end of the day, they warranted a draw. We didn't do enough to win the game. You know, we had those chances in the first half. All of, you know, came out short, and we just weren't clinical. Ollie has to change something. You know, you can't continue to play this style of football. It's not acceptable. It's not to the standard of the club, and this has been happening for a long time. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say to finish the video, because we have got a podcast tomorrow, which we will go in more detail and obviously, you know, be a bit more, you know, have a bit more conversation regarding certain matters that we need to address. But anyways, apart from that, it's been your boy Usmaan. Thank you to everyone that's called in. Much love to you guys. Hopefully you call in again. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It's been your boy Usmaan. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace.